Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. Now very privileged to be joined by the man with the best laugh in all of commentary right there. One of the coolest jobs, gets to sit next to the GOAT and call U of A football, the great Lamont Lovett. Hello, Lamont. How are you?
What's going on, Mike Luke? How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. All right. Now, got to give you a lot of credit here. You were in on Jedd Fisch from absolutely day one after you saw him, after he talked with you. Lamont, you are looking like the king of the castle right now. Let me ask you this. Has this rebuild gone even a little bit quicker than maybe you would have thought?
I would have to say yes. I think with the additions that they made this past season, with the reinforcements on defense, bringing in Coach Akina, Coach Richardson, just the defense. I mean, I don't think anyone could have anticipated that the defense would improve as fast and be good as fast as they were. So that definitely sped up. And I think that, I think Jedd's always done a nice job with the offense, but I think this year the difference is they're actually running the ball when they want to run the ball, and they're being a little bit more deliberate about, when they want to control the game. And so it's made them better because it takes the pressure off the quarterback. He doesn't have to be, he doesn't have to throw for 500 yards to win the game. They can, as long as he's efficient, protects the ball, and when they're running, they can control games. So it's been pretty neat to see that.
You mentioned the defense. What's wild to me about this, and we've watched, it's funny because growing up, I got to watch great defenses. That was always part of Arizona football. You obviously were front row and center for one of the best defenses in college football history. But let's be honest here. The last decade plus, probably since Stoops left, these weren't good defenses. They were undersized. There was lack of dynamic playmakers. You had a Scooby Wright year in there. But I'll tell you what, from the defensive line to the linebacker unit to the defensive backs, it is wild that there is not really a weak link on this defense at this point, Lamont.
That's a great point. I was going up and down the roster and really looking at, I was thinking going into this past game, last year there were obvious deficiencies that you could, if you're looking up and down, you can say, okay, that's a deficiency. And you can say, okay, that's an area where we just got to get a lot better at. And one of the differences with this team as the years gone on, there's not really a glaring area, that just really needs to improve like right now,
Right.
And I feel like, as far as what the scheme's doing defensively, I feel like what they're doing offensively, I feel like they kind of hit their stride right now. They're kind of knowing like, okay, this is the type of team we are. This is what we want to be. Because I think sometimes early on, you're still trying to kind of figure that out. But they know now, and I really like what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing like a lot of holes in this team. And basically, if you're going to beat this team, you're going to have to beat them. It's not going to be one of those things where, okay, we know we got this area we can just exploit here. You're just going to have to play solid to beat them now.
Now, so you look at the cornerbacks, and again, Dwayne Akina coming in, probably as good a defensive backs coach as there is in college football history. I will stand by that, and I don't think I'm going to get an argument from the great Lamont Lovett. This is true.
No, not for me. I feel like he's one of the best defensive backs. I'm in my short lifetime. All I have is, what I've seen. He recruited me. I was in the defensive back, but I've had an opportunity to just watch, him coach through the years. His resume is ridiculous. He's got more than one Jim Thorpe Award winner.
3.
Yeah.
And Chris McAllister wasn't even one of them.
I know, which is mind-blowing because he's perhaps one of the best defensive backs.
Right.
But just crazy. Yeah. But I've watched him develop defensive backs through the years. And normally he coaches the safeties and the defensive backs. So just having him in the room, even if he's not like the main guy, but having him in the room with all the wisdom and just know-how, and his personality is so like dynamic that I mean, he can't just be in a room. He's not going to sit in the corner and be quiet.
Right.
He's going to give us his input, and it's always great input. So when you can get a guy like that, it makes a huge difference for everybody on the defensive staff because he just has so much wisdom.
What he's done with the corners is amazing. Ephesians Prysock, I don't know that anybody should be surprised that he's made that jump because you just look at Ephesians, you look how he moves, you look how tall he is. But man, what they've done with Tacario Davis, granted, Tacario Davis will never be a wide receiver. I think that's probably fair to say. But these are two cornerbacks, Lamont, that are a problem, and they're going to be a problem for the next couple of years as well, especially all 6'3", 6'4" of them.
Yeah, they're both sophomores right now. They're both 6'4", and right now they're Ephesians is like 190 right now. But just can you imagine these guys in a couple of years and they're both like over 200 pounds? And I mean, they're going to be dominant, man. They're going to be very dominant, and if they can continue to be trained by the same group of coaches that they have, yeah, that's going to be fun to watch.
One of my complaints over the year, and I've texted you nonstop about this, but I think that I'm about to get punched in the face by Jedd Fisch as I deserve. Gunnar Maldonado. I did not understand why Gunnar Maldonado was out there but you know what? These last 3 games, this dude is balled out. All a tip of the cap to the young man. He's dealt with a lot of criticism, and Lamont, he's become kind of a stalwart on the back end here this last month.
Yeah, he really has. But you know how I said earlier, I feel like the staff is kind of, they're kind of learning their players and they're kind of finding their stride too with how they want to go with the scheme. And I think that early on, maybe sometimes he was in just different situations that I think weren't the best for him to be in. But now when he's playing back at deep safety and he can see things in front of him and he just has to read and react and come downhill and just be physical, that's right up his up his alley because he loves to hit. So I think they found the perfect spot for him, how they're playing him right now. And they seem to have found the right mix of defensive backs and have, guys that can all really play to their strengths, and a lot of size and length with these guys on the back end. And they're just they make it tough. It's tough to throw over this team.
Right. Now, Lamont, before I want to get to the D line here, because again, you played on a team with some of the best defensive linemen college football has ever seen. I do not, and you can just look at the record books for that. But first, Circle K. You could be like Lamont Lovett and live out in the ritzy area by Push Ridge, or you could be Mike Luke and live by the U of A. Guess what you're going to find, Lamont? A Circle K everywhere right there. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Now, here's the deal. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. And one other thing, Foco. All right, here's the cool thing with Foco. Let me find the read right here. All right, Foco. They always have our Arizona sports back, and they have yours too. Get the best gear around by visiting Foco.com and use code PHNX for all non-presale items. Use the promo code PHNX. Again, the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise with a product line that includes everything. All right, Lamont, I'm tired of lightweight defenses. It was really getting annoying to me. I don't like looking at people that are as tall as me out there. I want to see big people out there. We got Big Bill Norton. We got, obviously, got Tia Savea making plays. You got Russell Davis coming, being kind of that swing defensive end. Taylor Upshaw, not Tyler Upshaw, as the commentators call him, could easily be a 10-sack guy. Then, obviously, Isaiah Ward on the other side. Again, this staff, I will venture to say they do a very good job of developing defensive linemen, Lamont Lovett.
Yeah, they're on the right track right now. I mean, they got some seniors in there, granted, that came over, from the transfer portal. But what I really like is I like the philosophy, that of bringing in these big guys and the middle guys that can plug up a gap, guys that really command double teams, and then really fast, speedy, physical linebackers. These guys, and just the strategy of the entire, defense just swarming to the ball. The way they run to the ball has just been something that's just been eye-opening this year. So, yeah, it's been really, really fun to cover these guys and to watch them play this style of defense because, I just haven't seen defense around here be this physical in quite some time. And so it's eye-opening and it's really fun to watch.
Now, Jedd does a really good job in the transfer portal because a lot of times when you get these players from USC or Michigan that don't do anything, it's because they're not very good. Last year, he hit it with Hunter Echols, Hunter Echols came in here, and again, it's not like he blew the world away, but 7 sacks, 6 sacks, something like that. Certainly good enough.
Yep.
Taylor Upshaw, not Tyler, has come in here, and Lamont, he's probably going to be a double-digit sack guy. You got to tip your cap to this staff, and because again, I didn't know what to expect from Upshaw. He had 6 career sacks spanning 4 years. That dude's already surpassed that in one season at the U of A.
Yeah, well, he's obviously got talent. He's got the NFL bloodlines. He knows how to play football, and he was playing in the Big Ten, and he was playing. He wasn't, the main guy there, but he was still playing.
Right.
But I always reserve judgment until I can put my eyes on him. And when I saw him in camp, the first couple of days I saw him in camp, I said, that's a big kid, and he's really athletic. He was way more athletic than I expected. I was thinking of him more as a guy that's going to be kind of an anchor, which he does. He's the guy that sets the edge, but he's really athletic. And so, he's got all the tools. I mean, he's really good. And I think that, with the aggression that this defense is playing with, he's got a chance, man. He's got a chance to do some good things. Unfortunately, I saw he got a little banged up in the last game. He had a big old cast on his hand. And so I know a couple of times he couldn't grab onto people. But very impressed with what I've seen with him thus far.
I'm really enthused by the 2 defensive ends that are probably going to be the starters next year. Honestly, I think Deuce Davis and Isaiah Ward, still a little bit on the light side. Don't worry. T.O.'s got that one covered, but I think both these guys next year could be in for massive junior seasons, Lamont.
Oh, no question. It's just a matter of them developing, It's funny when the team that we just played, Oregon State, when you look up and down their roster, you saw a bunch of redshirt seniors. And all those guys were 6'5", 258. That's what these guys are going to look like in 2-3 more years of working with T.O. and just being staying in the weight room and doing the right things. They're going to be some grown men out there, and they're continuing to recruit and bring in big, tall guys and just developing them. You got to love the philosophy, because you look up and down our conference and you see teams that are struggling out there. You see like the Colorados, you see these other teams that brought in a bunch of guys, but guys that haven't really had a chance to do that, to redshirt and to be in and to develop the chemistry and the culture that you like to see with these teams. And so there's something to be said about bringing in these kids and working with them and developing them from scratch. And you're going to start to see down the line, like, boy, they got a bunch of studs on this team, and that's recruiting and developing, and that's what this program's all about.
Lamont mentioned studs. We're going to talk about my favorite player on the defense here in just a second, then get to Mr. Noah Fafita. But first, no better time to become a PHNX diehard. Here's the cool thing about it. You got Discord chats, merchandise. The Diamondbacks are in the World Series. The Suns are killing it. The Cardinals stink, but they're always enjoyable to watch. And ASU, they do a really good job covering ASU as well. So again, no better time to become a PHNX diehard. All right, Lamont, Big Bill Norton. Big Bill Norton is probably I don't know if he's my favorite player on the team, but he's probably my favorite player on the defense. This dude gets it. And it just goes to show you too, like when the people are like, oh, well, he didn't play at Georgia. I don't care that he didn't play at Georgia. That is a different level of football that we're trying to get to. This dude has been an anchor in the middle there, Lamont, and I would love to get another year out of him because he has that option if he'd like it.
Heck yeah. We'll take a lot of guys that Georgia doesn't want to play. I mean, when you get a team that's consistently having the number one, top five recruiting classes, and we'll take some guys that they're a little bit buried on the depth chart, because chances are they're going to be like Bill, 6'6", 325, strong as heck, athletic. We'll take those guys all day long over here.
It also goes to show you, too, that just the different level that Georgia is, because I don't care what anybody says. I think Big Bill Norton can play in the NFL someday. I really do, because as big as he is, as strong as he is, so just because you're running second string at Georgia doesn't mean that, and I'm telling you, Georgia people over there, come on and back the A right here, Lamont.
Let's back the A, Georgia.
Right.
Keep them coming. I was born in Georgia, by the way.
Where are you? What city?
Atlanta. Yeah.
All right. So how'd you matriculate to California?
My dad was a lot of people know,
sure.
in the ministry. Yeah. And
yeah.
He got a church in Los Angeles. And so
very cool.
We got it when at the age of 5, moved to California.
All right. Very cool. I did not know that you were born in Atlanta, Lamont. Mm-hmm. Stop burying the lead right here around here. All right. We got to talk Noah Fafita now. I don't care what anybody says about the height, whatever. I know he's 5'8". He's not 5'11" or anything like that. This dude is something special, Lamont. We've never seen, and maybe you can think of one, but I cannot think of one quarterback that was legit 5'8" that wasn't at one of those, the service schools that, but threw the ball 30 times a game as a traditional quarterback. And not only that, it's not like he's getting the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. He obviously can navigate passing lanes. This is a special, special dude that you've got a front row seat to be able to watch for the next 3.5 years. And this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah. He's very polished as a quarterback. You can tell that he's a student of the game. He understands what he's seeing. You can see him going through his progressions out there. Like you alluded to earlier, he understands passing lanes, and that is what. And then he's got that really, he's got a really quick release. So when the ball gets out of his hands, it's out of his hands, and so you don't really have an opportunity to sit there and anticipate when you're going to bat it down, because when he decides to go, it's like boom, and it's out of his hands.
Right.
Accurate, he can make all the throws. So yeah, physically he's got the tools. But I think more than anything, though, he's played quarterback his whole life.
Right.
He's been a short quarterback his whole life. So while everybody else is trying to get adjusted to him, he's used to playing with everybody around him bigger than him. So it's not a big deal to him. It's something that he's just, he's probably developed. His skill set and his ability to navigate the pocket and his ability to, look at passing lanes and all that stuff. He's probably more developed in that area than other people, because it's something that he's just had to do. And he's done it for so long that, we're over here. Everybody else is worried about what he can't do. And he's been doing it from day one, from the day he's got here. And the first time I saw him, the first practice I saw him throw a bomb to Jacob Cowan. And I was like, whoa.
Right.
Because when you see the ball come out of his hand, you understand that this dude can straight up spin the ball. So, yeah, it does not surprise me with the success that he's having right now.
And he has a clutch gene to him too. Let's be honest. He was not having his vintage game against Oregon State. That fourth quarter hits. You need to be able to drive the ball down the field. You need to be able to get a touchdown. You need to be able to salt the game away at the end. Granted, a lot of it was DJ Williams, who we'll get to in a second. Mm-hmm. But when the lights get big, they're never too big for Noah Fafita there, Lamont. And that is something. And you're the Division I athlete, believe it or not, I'm not. But I believe that that's something, though, that you either have or you don't, about being able to embrace that moment. I don't think that you could learn to embrace that. I think you either have it or you don't.
I agree about that. And I think a lot of it, too, is he's been in that moment, though. Like you said, he played in the Trinity League. He played, for, Juice County, his team, and he won a championship there. And so he's been in these moments before. So when it's something about, that muscle memory and building up that strength in those areas, that you're right. When he got out here, he just looks poised. You're like, dude, he does not look nervous. He doesn't have happy feet. You get smacked with a hard shot, and he comes right back again. The next play, it's just like locked in, and that's what's really impressive. It's just how calm he is. Because I've seen, through the years, QBs come in, look like, Joe Montana with on air. Right. And as soon as, the bullets start flying, it's like happy feet and deer in headlights. But I've seen no flinch in Noah, and you just understand that this dude has some heart. And he has a lot of heart.
What's also interesting to me, too, is that other receivers are now seemingly getting open. Now that Kevin Green's getting into the action, Malachi Riley has caught a bomb. AJ Jones, Tony Jones, if you're listening, who's always on the show, he caught a pass the other day. Everybody's eating with everybody. I almost said everybody's eating with Lamont. Everybody is everybody eats when Noah Fafita's out there. You get open, you're probably going to get the ball. And that's something that the great quarterbacks have. You always heard the term with Peyton Manning, throwing him open. How much money did he make guys like Brandon Stokely and Dallas Clark and guys like that? Noah got a little bit of that going on with him.
Oh, no question about it. No question about it. He's finding the guys, and he's letting the defense tell him where he needs to throw it. He's not locking in a lot. He's done it. He's locked in a few times because it's to be, he's not perfect out there, but he's when you're plus 70+ percentages, that's pretty darn good. So yeah, he's finding the open guys, and he's been sacked a few times, but again, I want you to pay attention to when he's getting sacked, though. He got sacked by Oregon State. which is a really aggressive defense, and they came with a lot of pressure. But man, he comes right back and he makes a play, he drives him downfield. So yeah, I mean, that was a tough defense to face, but you never saw him look rattled the entire game. That's the most important thing.
All right, now let me tell you real quick about DraftKings right here. We're in the real sports season now. Baseball, we got football and we got basketball here, Lamont. Here's the deal. Basketball is more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code PHNX, $200 in bonus bets instantly. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling, 888-789-777, or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort, licensing partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, Louisiana. I've been to Lake Charles, Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms for eligibility and deposit restriction terms and responsible gaming. How was that, Lamont, right there? I did not breathe during that entire read.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed with your reads and everything. You can tell you've done this a few times.
I have done this a few times. Now you played in a very talented backfield at the U of A. You got guys like Chuck Levy. You got guys like Antoine Carter. You got Billy Johnson. You got Lamont Lovett. I'll tell you what, this backfield right here at the U of A, I think it rivals about anybody. You got Michael Wiley, Jonah Coleman, DJ Williams, Pham, Rayshon Speedy Luke. Lamont, there's a lot to like in this backfield.
Oh yeah, they've got all the elements to it, and these guys are way bigger than we were when we played, because you got two guys in there,
right.
225 look like, both those guys look like bulls back there, and run like it. They got every element, they got speed, breakaway speed, got power. You got Speedy's got hyper speed. I mean, he's got incredible speed. Then you got the versatility of Wiley out there, who could do everything. He's a great blocker. Great catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, Wiley's game is ready for the pros right now. So yeah, it's pretty neat to see that.
Doesn't he have a little bit of a Shane Vereen type feel to him? Somebody like that's going to probably play on the Patriots or something for 8 years. Won't put up huge numbers, but he's going to be in the NFL for a long time. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, he just had a 7-year career when he retired.
Yeah, I can see him playing for the Chiefs. I can see him in that
Chiefs. Oh, that would be nice for you.
It would be, but I can see him in this type of system where he's got to, come out of the backfield. He's not just asked to do one thing, but you can get him on the screen, you can get him up the field. You can do what he's doing basically. I'm just wishful thinking, but
right,
he can fit in that system though. Yeah.
All right, Jonah Coleman. We've talked a ton about him. We'll get to him in just a second, but we got to give a lot of kudos to DJ Williams. DJ Williams is the epitome of a player that is obviously a team guy, because DJ Williams would start for about 8 or 9 teams in the Pac-12 right now. The way that he just kind of salted that game away against Oregon State, that is what the good teams do. There was nothing fluky about it. You knew DJ Williams was coming right at you, and Lamont, there was nothing that Oregon State could do about it.
Yeah, that's got a place that's really close to my heart, when you can see a team basically say, all right, game's on the line here. We got about 5 minutes. You know what? We're going to run over here. I don't want to see you try to stop it. And that's pretty much what Arizona just did. They just kept running over and over, and they were taking their time, getting a block back to the huddle, line up, let some time run off the clock, line up, boom, run it, hit them for another 5-6 yards. And then they were bringing in fresh backs one after the other too. So yeah, but DJ's like a closer, man. DJ is a guy that not only can he run you over, if you make a mistake, he'll take it the distance on you.
Right.
I always go back to that Oregon game where he just it was a 50-60 yarder, but he scored really quickly when he hit that crease on the right side. So yeah, he's got that ability.
UCLA, this coming up right here, obviously from your neck of the woods originally there, Lamont. The UCLA though, this is a good team. It's weird because it's not what you expect with a Chip Kelly team, and I think so many people just still think about Oregon and whatnot. He's drastically different now. This is a good, solid team. It's really, really good defensively. It's going to be a real test for Noah out there. Offensively, I think Arizona is going to be able to hold UCLA down. I believe if Arizona wins this game, they're going to be ranked. And let's not minimize that, because this would be the first time that they've been ranked, would have been ranked since 2017. That's a pretty big accomplishment for Jedd Fisch in year 2.5.
Oh, no question about it. It's huge. And I really feel like this is a golden opportunity. It's kind of a rivalry for guys from LA to play at LA school. So it's going to be big. And anytime you're facing one of the LA schools, it's always a big deal. And this team, man, I mean, I feel like, well, this is a Chip Kelly team. It's not a classic Chip Kelly team. The thing to me is I don't think that they're elite at quarterback right now.
No,
I think they got some talent there, but I don't see them, like I think there's a few upper echelons in quarterbacks in this league, and I don't really see them there right now. I just think that they're just young at that position, and it really presents an opportunity for this defense to really get after them. And if our offense is on and defense is on, I mean, we get them in our house with the crowd warmed up and get them juiced up. We got a great opportunity to do exactly what you said and get into that top 25. But it all starts with Saturday in Arizona Stadium.
You mentioned the crowd.
Yeah.
People, you got to get out there. Again, I understand Arizona football fan has, it's dealt with a lot. I get it, because every time it feels like something's about to hit, something is pulled out from under you. I'll say this, though. Jedd Fisch there's nothing fluky about this, though. This isn't, and this is with all due respect, this isn't Rich Rod, getting to the Fiesta Bowl and then falling off a year from 3-8 because you just ran out of talent. This talent, this cupboard is full across the board right here. This dude has done it the right way. He's engaged the alumni like yourself. He's engaged the fan base. If you can't get out to support this guy, I don't know what else to do, because he's done everything that anybody could have possibly asked there, Lamont.
No question about it. He's done a great job, and the guys, I think, on the inside really appreciate what they're seeing. Seeing the effort that he puts out in recruiting and the effort he puts out reaching out to the alumni, reaching out to the community. He's definitely doing it the right way, recruiting high school kids at a really high clip, and then using the transfer portal the way that, I think it's more designed to be more like a free agency type of thing.
Right.
Fill in your blanks with them and fill in your deficiencies maybe with them, but not that be your recruiting strategy. And I just think that, he's doing it the right way. And if he can continue on this path, which there's no reason to believe otherwise, because, this is all their strategy. And so the results they can continue to duplicate them, because this is not a fluke. This is what, they've got a plan, and they work their plan every single day. And the fruits are starting to, they're starting to show up right now.
All right, let's talk about that, because Jason Shearer, that putz, was on the show the other day, and we were talking about this. I hate getting ahead of stuff. I know, because anything can happen. Lamont, you looked at this roster and thought about what possibly, assuming nothing Titanic happens, where Arizona could be at this time next year going into the Big 12. You got Fafita back. You got Jonah Coleman. You got Fam, Rayshon, Speedy Luke in the backfield. The receivers are always going to be set. The offensive line, you lose Jordan Morgan. That's a huge blow for sure. But you got Polito. You got a lot of dudes like a Tylen Gonzalez and Elijah Payne to come in there. Yep. The interior is set with Savanea. Defensively, you can return almost everybody outside of Taylor Upshaw. Mm-hmm. This could be as good as it is now. This could be a dynamite team on the national scale next year, Mr. Lovett.
No question about it. Now, are you saying some of the seniors that we got down there can come back another year or two?
Yeah, exactly. The only guys that can't come back for sure, Jacob Cowing, or as the commentators kept calling him, Jacob Coing, cannot come back. Taylor Upshaw cannot come back, and Jordan Morgan cannot come back. No, and Michael Wiley. Obviously, those are 4, and DJ Williams. Those are 5 really, really good players.
Yeah, they are.
But as we've talked about, the depth that has been able to be built there, and the backbone of this team is still very much intact.
Yeah. Can Big CO come back?
Big CO can come back.
Wow. See, now that's big. Big CO, Big Bill Norton. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That's they got a nice nucleus of that defense coming back. And I know all the secondary pretty much. Yeah, pretty much all those guys are back. Yeah.
All of them are back. The linebackers are back, obviously, in Manu and Flo.
That's a young team.
I mean, that is top to bottom, I think, as talented a team since the Stoops era. Right. Honestly, like, just across the board and going into the Big 12, sure, it's new territory. Happy to be there. But Arizona, I think, is going to be is Arizona kind of like Utah. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they're at the top of the Big 12 next year. Just saying.
It's possible. I mean, it's possible. We got a strong staff, and yes, I'm a homer.
Right.
I love Arizona through and through. But
you back the A.
I 100% back the A. But I got eyes too, and I watch a lot of football, and these guys are doing it the right way. So it's not surprising to see them having some success right now. Now, like you said, we don't want to get ahead of our skis, and we still got a lot to there's still a lot of things that can be accomplished, but they're doing it the right way. That's the point, and that's the most important thing. And we've got a quality staff, and people on the staff like being on the staff, and that's something that's important as well. That when coaches want to be here and they want to develop these kids and they want to be part of this community, those are huge, because you can make a great living here, have a great career here, and just be you can have a statue in front of the stadium. If you get to the Rose Bowl, you could be the mayor. You get to the Rose Bowl. There's no more Rose Bowl, but you know what I'm saying. Get to win a championship.
I want to talk to you about that for a little in a second before we sign off. But first, OGs. All right, let's say you got a massive headache because you've been watching ASU football. OGs is here to help you out. Check out our friends at OGs Brands for yourself and try one or a few of their many delicious flavors. Check them out across all socials at OGs Brands and online at ogsbrands.com. To find them at a local dispensary near you, must be 21 years or up to enjoy responsibly. Again, maybe you're watching the Valley not being activated and you're like, all right, I need some OGs right there. Activate the OGs. Now, one other one as well, Empire. My first read this week, Empire. All right, here's the deal with Empire. With Empire today, you get to shop at home, convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. Empire today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have copycats, but Empire today can't be beat on quality, service, speed, you name it. They got it. Now, again, schedule a free in-home estimate. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details. All right. There's something to be said for building your own brand. And again, Dick Tomey did some awesome things here at the U of A. Certainly had U of A on the map. Larry Smith, same thing. The only thing those were, I got to be careful here because Dick Tomey is the man. They weren't sustained. There were some really good years, and then there'd be a few off years, and there'd be some really good years. Jedd Fisch has the potential here to make this, and again, this is with an homage, obviously, to those guys, to make this his program right here. So when people talk about, he's just, why wouldn't he go somewhere else? There's something to be said for being the Lute Olson. There's something to be said for the people that when people think about Arizona football, sure, they're going to think about Tomey, but they're also going to think about Jedd Fisch right there. Whereas if you go to a place like LSU, you're going to be another coach there. There's something to be said about putting your own mark down here in a sports crazed city there, Mr. Lovett.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what you want. You want to leave a legacy behind. You want people to remember you. If you're running a major program, you want to leave your mark. You want to win some championships here, and you want to build this thing from the ground up, and then you want to be considered, make this program a blue blood program. You want people to talk about Arizona and, football, just like they talk about Arizona basketball. And those opportunities, I've always felt like this place is a sleeping giant, and you got the opportunity here. It's right between California, Texas, and all these other places. And all you need is somebody who, has the vision, and somebody who really wants to be here and wants to be successful here. It's very possible. And he's proven it. He has proven it. He's special. I think he's doing a wonderful job, and we got to figure out ways to keep him here because he's a great coach, right? He's a great coach, and he's more than just X's and O's. I think he understands, what it takes to build a program, and I think he's doing it the right way. I think he came in, not cocky about what he was doing, but just put his head down and continued to work. and continue to build his staff. And I think they do a lot of self-evaluating because you can tell because they come back and improved. You're seeing the improvement everywhere.
Each year.
Yeah, offense, defense, special teams. And he's not taking anything for granted. He's got a lot of resources in terms of, in terms of brain power, Obviously he's worked for a lot of great coaches. And I think that he's picked up some stuff because he's making some great decisions and he's making some great moves and doing it the right way. And I'm glad to be a part of it and glad to be able to watch it and to witness it. And I'm just looking for big things from the staff.
All right, now signing off right here, but let's say that you can't make it to the game and you're annoyed by something the commentators are saying. I say you're doing it the wrong way. You need to be listening to the GOAT, Brian Jeffries, and Lamont Lovett on the play call right there. That will eradicate any of your concerns. You got the two best in the business. As always, Lamont, really appreciate your time, my guy. I'm sure I'll be texting you within the next half hour.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Always it's always a pleasure to be on your podcast and talk some Arizona football. So yeah, right. Back the A and bear down. There
you go, my man. The great Lamont Lovett. I'm merely Mike Luke. Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.